talking about Facebook strategies for real estate. Again, I'm Amanda Supeltz, Director of Technology here at SAR. I think anytime that we talk about Facebook, the first thing everyone wants to know is, do I need a personal Facebook or do I need a business Facebook? So basically there's two types of Facebook entities. There's the personal profile and then there's the business page. So there's some key differences between personal profile and business page. Everybody has a personal profile. It's when you type in your email address and your password and you hit log on to Facebook, that's what you're going to. You're going to the personal side of Facebook, your personal profile. You have to have one whether you use it or not. You do have a personal profile if you have a Facebook account. The business page is something that you create after you log into your personal profile. So I go to facebook.com, I log in, and then from there I can, if I already have a business page, I can go to that page, but I actually at some point created that business page separate from my personal profile. The biggest difference between a personal profile and a business page is really how you use them. So on a personal profile, when you connect with other people, it's a mutual relationship. So you send a friend request to Susie, Susie sees that you send a friend request to her, and she chooses to accept your friend request or deny your friend request. So either you and Susie have this mutual relationship, you know, you're friends on Facebook, or you don't, or you're not friends on Facebook. There's no one-way relationship like there is with a business page. So on the business page, they used to be called fan pages, if you remember when Facebook first came out. So on your business page, you have fans who follow you or they like your page. So there's no reciprocation with that. You don't send a friend request to somebody and they approve it when you're a business page. You don't follow other people. You're not friends with other people on your business page. You're just your business page and other people can follow that business page, but it's really a one-way relationship. You know, if somebody follows your business page, you can't see any of their personal information on their profile. You can still only see what they've made public unless you're personally, on your personal profile, mutual friends with them. But for the most part, there's no reciprocation, no two-way relationship when it comes to business pages. You only get that on your personal profile. Another huge thing that you can do on your personal profile on Facebook that you can't do on your business page is like and comment on all of your friends' stuff. So Aunt Betty posts a picture of the family at Christmas. You can like it. You can comment on it. You can say, oh my God, I was having such a bad hair day. You can do all of that on your personal profile. You can't do that on your business page. The only commenting and liking that you can do on your Facebook business page is on the stuff that's already on your page. So if you make a post about, you know, here's my listing and somebody comments on it and says, when's the open house, you can comment back and say it's Saturday from 10 to 3, but you can't go onto that person's page and like a picture that they just posted. You can't post on their timeline or on their wall, as it used to be called. So really all of that kind of personal interaction that Facebook is known for, the liking, you know, the thumbs up and the commenting and the sharing, that is pretty much all on the personal profile side. The business page is really a one-way communication. You know, you put stuff out and you can comment on the stuff that you put out, but you can't go into other people's profiles and act as your business page when you're liking and commenting. Usually, sometime when we're talking about personal profiles on Facebook versus business pages on Facebook, somebody will say, oh, but you can't use your personal profile for business. This is what they're referring to. It's in those terms of use that you agreed to that you probably never read, and I don't blame you. But it says you will not use your personal profile on Facebook primarily for your own commercial gain. And instead, you'll use a Facebook page for such purposes. So that basically means that the primary reason that you're using your personal profile cannot be for your own commercial gain. That doesn't necessarily mean that you can't use your personal profile for business, especially in real estate. You're in the business of making relationships. So it makes sense to use a personal profile versus a business page because on your personal profile, you're building relationships, you're interacting with people. Every like does not equate to $1 on Facebook. You know, you're not using it primarily for your own commercial gain. You're using it to interact and build relationships, which happens to be your business where you do make your living. So you can definitely still use a personal profile in relation to your business. You just have to make sure, you know, some obvious things. Your name on your personal profile needs to be your real name, and it can't be Keller Williams Realty Agent. It needs to be your real name. You can't post only your listings over and over and over again, and that's the only thing you post. So pretty much the things that would make you not want to be friends with yourself on Facebook, you shouldn't do. A lot of it's pretty obvious on the things that you shouldn't do on your personal profile. But basically, I think the way to sum it up would be your personal profile is for being a person and your business page is for being a business. So before we get into, I'm going to talk both about how to use your personal profile and how to use your business page. But before we get into that, let's talk about some Facebook basics. So some terminology right off the get-go. Timeline, when Facebook first came out, this would have been called your wall. This is basically like your page. This is your profile. This is where your profile picture is. This is where you can see your friends list. This is where all your posts are. This is where your photos are. It's basically just referred to as a timeline. And that's true whether you're using a personal profile or whether you're looking at a business page. It's all called timeline. So you have a timeline, your friend has a timeline, your business page has a timeline. They each have their own timelines or profiles or walls, whatever you want to call it. So a post on Facebook, you can post on your own timeline. You can post on somebody else's timeline. And anytime that you post, typically it can be a photo, a video, or just text. And when you post a photo or video, you can also post text with it. You can even post multiple photos. They can also include tags where you tag other people in your posts. So you can say, I'm with so-and-so, or Joe and I are here. You can include a location. So Joe and I are eating pizza at Pizza Hut, whatever you want to put in there. So any post, whether it's on your own, whether you're making a post on your own timeline or you're making a post on a friend's timeline, you can include all of these different elements. So likes and comments are really what drive the interaction on Facebook. So liking is just like you're giving a thumbs up. You're just saying, you're just liking. You're just giving the post some, basically acknowledging that you saw it and you agree with it or you like it. Comments, obviously kind of self-explanatory. You comment on what the other person posted. So you can like and comment things that you post on your own timeline. You can like and comment things that you posted on somebody else's timeline. You can like and comment something that you didn't even post that somebody else posted. You can like and comment on pretty much any element on Facebook. So there are some things that you're going to post on Facebook that are going to be more private and some things that are going to be more public. It's hard to really kind of sum this up or hard to really make generalizations about what's private and what's public on Facebook because it's really up to your individual settings. So on the top right of Facebook, you'll see a little gear icon. I recommend clicking on that and then clicking on privacy settings and then just going through each of the tabs and making sure that you're familiar with what things you have set to private and what things you have set to public. And when I say private, I mean only your friends. So only people that you have entered into that two-way relationship with, that mutual friendship relationship, that would be private, things that you can say only my friends can see. Public would be things that are open to everybody, so even somebody who just Googled your name and found you could see. One thing to be aware of is typically if you tag a friend in a post on Facebook, typically they can see it and any of their friends can see it. So even if you post something and you tag Joe in it and Joe has a friend, Susan, that you don't know, Susan is more than likely going to be able to see that post. It's up to some, individual privacy settings, but for the most part, if you tag somebody in it, all their friends are going to be able to see it as well. I would also go and check just your basic info, like, your contact information, who your family is, marital relationship status. I would check all of those, and you do that just by going to your timeline, which is you just click on your name on the top right of Facebook, and then go to the About tab, and just look through those, and when you go to click Edit on all of those, it'll show you a little icon to the side of it. If it looks like a world, that means it's public. If it looks like two people, that means it's shared with your friends, and you can always hover over it and find out for sure who it's shared with, but I would really just take some time to go through what your settings are now and make sure that they're really how you want them. Okay, so let's talk about your personal profile. And I forgot to make that fade in. Okay, so what do I post? Now, obviously, cats and pictures of lunch are usually pretty popular on Facebook, but that doesn't mean that you have to post just those types of things. So there's lots of different things that you can post on your personal profile that kind of relate to your business without being overly salesy. You want to be careful not to just be sale, sale, sale. Here's my listing, listing, listing. Congrats, congrats, congrats. I closed, I closed, I closed. You want to really be personable. Again, your personal profile is for being a person, and you happen to be in the business of developing relationships. So you're really just doing that relationship developing on an online platform rather than, at networking and that sort of thing. So here's just some general ideas of what you can post. Get your clients' permission, but people love to see, pictures of your clients after they close in front of their new house. And you can even tag your clients in this. So if you're Facebook friends with your clients, you can post on your personal profile a picture of them in front of their new house with their keys, and you can tag them in it. What I mentioned earlier was that if you tag somebody in a post that you make, even if it's on your timeline, that chances are their friends are going to be able to see that too. This is actually really good for you in this scenario because chances are their friends are going to be really happy and, happy for them that they just got this new house, so they're going to like and comment on it. And that just kind of increases your social ranking. The more likes and the comments that you get on your pages, the more it's going to show up in your news feed. Pictures are always great too. So if you have a picture of your clients in front of the house, those are automatically more likely to show up in people's news feeds. And really why that's important is just because the more that your name is out there and the more people start to associate your name with, people getting new houses, joyful things, great things going on in the community, even if they're not actively engaging with your post, when they're seeing your name and then they're seeing a picture of a really happy couple in front of their new property, if they're seeing your name and then updates on all the great things that are going on in Scottsdale, they just start to, automatically associate it with you. So it's important that you're always kind of top of mind for everybody in your sphere. So be personable and share your opinion on Facebook. I think the worst thing that you could probably do is be all business, all salesy, all confined on Facebook. It's really a social media platform for connecting with friends and family, and you really want to make sure that you're being authentic. I think that's the most important. So share your opinion. It's okay to be a little controversial. I would probably stay away from religion and politics, but you can definitely still share who you are. If you're comfortable sharing pictures of your kids or sharing, pictures of your pets or something great that happens in your life, if you're comfortable sharing that type of stuff, people love to see that. It just makes you more genuine and more authentic. And we're going to talk about how you can really manage who sees certain posts that you make. And I touched on it a little bit earlier, but it's always great to share what's going on in the community. People don't just buy properties, they buy neighborhoods when they buy a new home. So, share things that are going on in Scottsdale or things that are going on in the neighborhood that you work in. People really like those things. Basically, what things would interest you? What things would you like to hear about? Those are the types of things that you should be posting. And you can kind of gauge once you start posting different types of things, the ones that get more likes, the ones that get more comments, you can kind of gauge what types of things your Facebook friends are interested in. So you can start kind of shaping those. There's a lot of great places to get this type of content. You look on our website, staronline.com, we'll post information about the market and how the market's doing, post information about why homeownership matters, why it's important to be a homeowner. So you can get content there from CNN.com, from pretty much, there's, a multitude of places that you can get real estate news, for free, that you can just go on and you can just share those great stories. Just think about any time that you're reading something online, a great article, and it's really interesting and you think other people would be interested as well. You can share that as well. And it doesn't always have to be real estate or, related to the community. It could be other things too, current events, things like that are always great to share as well. Just anything that's going to get engagement so you're going to be top of mind of your sphere. I think one of the best kept secrets when it comes to Facebook in general, and especially for real estate, is the list function. So the list function on your personal profile on Facebook is great for 3 reasons. It helps you target your posts to the group that you want it to be targeted to. It helps you have concentrated browsing, so you're not spending all this time on Facebook and still missing some of those posts. And it also helps you manage your privacy. I talked about earlier, if you want to share pictures that are a little more personal or things that are a little more personal, kind of managing who that's shared with. So over on the left-hand side, the right-hand side of my screen, but the left-hand side, whenever you log on to Facebook, you'll see something that looks similar to this with your favorites and the pages and the groups. And down a little ways, you'll see a tab that's actually called Friends. And when you hover over that, there's a little link that pops up that says More. And what you're going to do is you're just going to click on that link that says More, and it's going to bring up a page that looks kind of like this. So you can see I have some things in here already that Facebook automatically populates for me. So it has close friends. Facebook tries to figure out who my close friends are. Usually does a pretty good job, which is a little scary. Acquaintances, family, people that I work with, people in the Phoenix, Arizona area, because that's what I've said is my hometown, and then you have a restricted one. So I'm just going to draw a line right here. So everything above this line is a list that Facebook created for you. And everything below the line are going to be custom lists that we create. So all the things above the line, you're just going to ignore. Just don't even bother using them. Facebook does a pretty good, creepy job of figuring out what types of people and who fits into these different categories. But you need to have more control, especially if you're going to be using real estate effectively or if you're going to be using Facebook effectively for your real estate business. You want to have a little bit more control of these groups and of these lists. So you're going to use everything that's below the line is what you're going to use and what you're going to set up. So you can actually set up custom lists with custom names and custom people in them. And people can belong to more than one list. So the goal is that every single person that you're connected to on Facebook, every single person that you're friends with on Facebook will belong to at least one list. And you can set those lists up. You can add them, delete them at any time. And it's just by using that Create List button that's on the top of the screen here. So people won't know when you create a custom list and you name it something, and you start adding people to it, they won't get any notification that you've put them in a list. When you share something, they won't be able to see who else you've shared it with. It'll just look like just another post that you've made. But you can actually share it with specific lists. So some ideas to kind of make this a little more concrete. You can have the A list. So these are probably your past clients or your closest friends that send you the most business. They give you the most referrals out of anybody. It could be, your top 5 or your top 10 people who really send you a lot of business. So the reason you'd want to have all of them in a list, and again, they won't know that they're on the A list. You could have the B list too. They wouldn't know. But the reason you want to have these people on the list are for those 3 reasons that I mentioned before. Targeted content. So if you wanted to send something just to the people who are on your A list, you can post that on your Facebook and send it just to them. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. It's also great for browsing. So, I mentioned earlier that not every single post that's made by all your friends shows up in that newsfeed. And there's a lot of noise and pictures of cats and pictures of people's lunches that you have to sort through to really find the stuff that matters. So what you can do here is you can just click on you can just go to your A-list and just see all of their posts. Every single post that your A-list has made, you can go through and watch those. And so then it makes it a lot easier to be top of mind with these people. If you like one of their photos, if you comment on, oh, Johnny got an award at school, that's awesome. If you're commenting on those things, and obviously not too much that it's creepy, but if you're commenting and liking those things, you're top of mind to that A-list, to those most important people who send you the most business. You're always going to be top of mind with them because you're filtering out all that noise and all those lunches and all those cats on Facebook, and you're just looking at the stuff that's important. Some other ideas for lists, and again, people can be in one person can be in multiple lists. So it's really, if you have a CRM, which you should, but if you have a CRM, for most of them, you can put tags or lists or groups on your CRM. So you can do the same here. So I could have, Susan, who's in the A list and also in past clients, and I could have John, who's just in current list, and then I could have Mike, who's in the current clients list and the A list. So some other ideas for lists: current clients. It's always good to keep up with what they're doing, what they're thinking. Past clients. I would always recommend starting with your A list and then going through to your past clients and seeing what they're up to on Facebook, or if you're targeting just past clients. If you're currently working with somebody but you're going to send out a post about something that would be just specific to past clients, you can target those people. And then segment up how you know people. Church people, people from the soccer team, people who live out of state that might want to move here eventually, people that live in your neighborhood of choice, your kids, friends, parents. You can really make as many lists as you want to, and you have complete control about what these lists are named and who goes in these lists. And again, it's going to make it so much easier for you because now on the left-hand side, whenever you log into Facebook, you're going to see where it says friends, and you're going to click on more, and you're going to see all of your lists, and you can easily just click on that. And if there's only 5 people on that list, you see all those posts from those 5 people. If there's 20 people on that list, you see all those posts from those 20 people. And it really helps filter out the noise of Facebook, so you're really paying attention to the people who you need to interact with and you need to be top of mind with. It's also great for when you're posting. So when you go, and you can do this on your phone too, this is a screenshot of the desktop version, but pretty much anytime you post on Facebook, over just to the left of the post button, usually it's going to show those 2 people and say friends. If you click on that, you'll notice it has public, friends, friends except acquaintances, only me, custom, star members, close friends, see all lists. So if I clicked on see all lists, I would see the A list. I would see people from church. I would see the soccer team. I would see all those custom lists that I made, and I could target just those lists. You can even click on custom, and if you want to share something with all of your friends except for people who were on the past clients list, you can do that. You can make a custom list that's called my family and share something with only your family, or share something with everyone except your family, depending on what it is. So you can really customize, and it's almost like a polite thing to do on Facebook. It's instead of sending out to every single person you're connected to on Facebook, especially as a real estate agent, as you're growing your Facebook and using it as an effective marketing tool, you could have thousands of people that you're connected with. So instead of sending out everything to everyone, you're really targeting people who are going to care about this post, and it's going to help your engagement, and it's going to help you be top of mind with your potential clients and past clients. So those are just a couple of the basic and really important things that I think are important on the personal profile side of Facebook. And again, your personal profile is just when you first log into Facebook, you're on your personal profile. If you do nothing else, whenever you post on Facebook, that's all on your personal side. And since you're in the relationship business, since you are a person, it is important to use that, and it can be very effective in real estate. So then usually at this point, people are asking, well, then do I even need a business page? I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why. So first of all, your Facebook business page, unlike your personal profile, is indexable. This is probably a weird word. It's probably not even a word. But basically what indexable means is that the little robots that you don't see that crawl all over the internet and dissect websites and pull out all that information, and basically when you type in why does the sun set at 6:30 during the summer and why does it set at 4:30 during the winter, when you type that into Google and it actually pulls up an answer for you, it's because of these robots going through all these websites and indexing all of the content on all of these websites and making it searchable. Your personal profile is not searchable. Depending on your privacy settings, if someone types in your name, they can usually pull up your Facebook, but they can't pull up anything else. But because your business page is indexable, if you put your name in your business page, if you make a post 2 years ago about why Scottsdale is so great, and then somebody commented on it and agreed with it, and somebody searched for a certain term that they used, it can show up. So that's super important because all of that great content that you're putting on your personal profile is only viewable to the people that you're friends with, again, depending on your privacy settings. But on your business page, not only is it available to everybody who's connected with you, it's available to anybody who is Googling anything that comes up on your business page. So that's really important and a good thing that you don't want to lose out on, that you will lose out on if you only have a personal profile. So that's the first reason why I think that it's a good idea to have a business page in addition to your personal profile. I also already touched on this, but your business page is public. It's a one-way communication, so people can go and like your page. Anybody can like your page, and anybody can see what you post on your business page. And so public is good because there's no commitment. And I don't mean no commitment from you. You still have to be committed to keeping up your page and posting on it, obviously, but it's no commitment from the public. Especially, some members of the public get really turned off by salespeople they're really not ready, they're just browsing, they just want to see what's available. I know you guys have all heard that before. So with a business page, people can still have you top of mind and get that great information that you're giving, and they don't feel like they're committed to using you. They don't feel like they're committed to, you being able to see everything that's going on with them. They don't feel like they're being sold to because they entered into that relationship, and it's a one-way relationship. So they don't feel like all of a sudden you're going to pick up the phone and start calling them. They feel more comfortable getting the information and just absorbing the information and not having to communicate directly with you, which, yes, is sad, but it is the major perception of the public. So it's important to have a vehicle where the public can relate with you and the public can absorb your information and know your name and know your brand without having to make any sort of commitment. Most of the other reasons I'm going to go through on why it's important to have a business page as well as you're using your personal profile are things that are related to businesses. I mentioned earlier, your personal profile is for being a person, your business page is for being a business. So things that people would do and interact with businesses that they wouldn't normally interact with just a person. So recommendations. So people can write recommendations. They can even give you star rankings now. So your past clients can go on there and say what a great agent you were and how helpful you were. They can give you 5 out of 5 stars. And all of that, again, is public and indexable. So if somebody's searching for, one of your past clients who made a recommendation on your page and the keywords are just right, they could theoretically find your business page by searching for somebody else's name. So those recommendations are really important too, because now everything's a Google search away. And just think about when you're on Amazon buying something and you look at the store ranking of the person that it's coming from and you look at the star ranking of the actual product compared to a similar product from a different store. Recommendations are very important and very much influence what places we do business with and who we work with. So it's important to have those recommendations there in a setting that is not only social and where you can deliver content and control the content that's there and control, your image and what your page and your almost like your mini website displays. Not only can you manage the brand there, but you can also have that social influence and those recommendations on there as well. Another important reason to have a business page is if you put an address, like your office address, in your business page, people can check in. So then when you're out showing houses with your clients or your clients are in your office and you're doing a consultation, they can do, again, that social influence. They can post on their Facebook, meeting with our agent, and they can check in at your place of business. And then from there, people can easily just click on your place of business and they can start looking at your business page and see everything that you've been posting there and the great information that you have for them. So that's another really important reason to have a business page. Another reason is advertisements. Facebook can be a great advertisement venue. You might have noticed that you can do like promoted stories. So if you post something on your Facebook, every once in a while it'll say, oh, this looks like a really popular post. Do you want to pay to get it in front of more people? That's one thing you can do, but the other thing is over on the right-hand side of Facebook as you're browsing through pages, most of the time you'll notice some advertisements. And sometimes, I know at least me, I'll go and I was shoe shopping, and then I went to Facebook, and the exact pair of shoes that I was just looking at is over on the right-hand side in a website asking me, hey, let's go buy these shoes now. So Facebook has a great way of targeting people. So you can actually go through and you can super target an ad. Maybe you're talking about, maybe you want an ad that's targeted to first-time home buyers. So you get a nice picture of a young couple in front of a house, and you say, put together some nice verbiage about how you can help first-time home buyers. And then what you can do is you can actually target that to males and females between 22 and 30. You can target it to people who have a relationship status of engaged. You can target it only to people in certain zip codes. You can target it only to people who like hiking. I mean, you can really super define and super target advertisements, and this is something that you can only do with your business page. And you can set the limit that you want to spend. So if you want it to run for 2 weeks and you only want to spend $20 max, then you can do that, and it'll actually show you how many people that ad is going to get in front of in the next 2 weeks. And again, you have to have a business page to do that. The last thing is apps. There's different ways that you can enhance a Facebook business page that you can't enhance a personal profile. So you can actually have an IDX within your Facebook business page. You can have custom flyers. You can have your entire YouTube channel. You can have your website embedded. You can have a multitude of different things. You can do contests and giveaways. You can do a sign-up form for them to sign up for your email list. A lot of different customization and free apps or very cheap apps. The majority are free. Some have a little bit of a cost. But there's a lot of apps that you can embed within your business page to really just enhance the functionality of it. When you're talking about online marketing, most people recommend you have a hub. So usually it's your website. Your website is your hub, and whether you're posting on Facebook or Twitter or Pinterest or wherever you're posting, you're kind of always trying to drive people back to that hub, which is your website. Some people, because of the diversity of business pages on Facebook, have actually used their Facebook business page as their hub. So that's for some people, not necessarily for real estate, but for some businesses, you don't even have to have a website anymore. Facebook pages the business pages are so diverse and you can do so much with them that they can almost serve as a full-fledged website. So I didn't go through specifics, a lot of specifics about posting individual things on Facebook and the real mechanics behind doing that, just because that's something that I recommend for Friday. If it is, I'm assuming that most of you are used to the personal side of Facebook and have used it before, and so you're pretty familiar with posting. So I didn't go through all of that just in the interest of time and not being able to see you and see where you're at to make sure we're all on the same page. So what my aim today was to give you just a brief overview of how you can use Facebook and some strategies to be using it rather than just rapid fire posting on there. So that I hope that this helped give you an idea, and if there's one thing you take away, please start using your personal profile to start building those relationships, because that's where you're going to see the most ROI, and start using those lists and start building those lists. So I really recommend our Follow-Up Friday. Again, you can set up for any time this Friday. Just send me an email. That's my email on the screen, or give me a call, and we can set up a time on Friday where you can come in to the office here in Scottsdale, and we'll just do a one-on-one 30-minute session where we can go over all of your specific questions. So please take advantage of that, and I am going to open it up for questions. So if anyone has any questions, just type in over on the right-hand side of your screen there any questions that you have, and I'll get those answered. Okay, somebody asked about single sign-ins with Facebook. There's a lot of other apps or other websites or other places that you'll be where it'll ask you to sign in with Facebook. 9.9 times out of 10, you're going to be signing in with Facebook on your personal profile. You just want to be careful about what types of things you're signing into with Facebook, because depending on the privacy settings and depending on what permissions you allow, it can start posting on your wall for you. So the biggest thing I would shy away from is like games. Unless you really, every time you sign in using Facebook into like Words with Friends or something like that, it's going to pull in a lot of your Facebook data, which is fine, but it could also start posting on your Facebook or even posting on your friends' Facebooks. One example is like SongPop, if anybody started using that. When you're waiting on somebody to reply to you, it can actually almost confuse you, and you can post on somebody's wall, hey, please come join me on SongPop. That gets really annoying to a lot of people. So I would just really be careful when something prompts you to sign in with Facebook, to really evaluate if this all of a sudden started posting on my wall, would I feel okay with that? Would I feel with all my friends and all my connections on Facebook, would I feel okay with them seeing that? And would it be annoying to them? So I really, more oftentimes than not, will recommend just signing up for things using your email address rather than single sign on with Facebook. Yes, it's easier to just single sign on with Facebook, but you want to make sure that especially if you're using your personal page to start as a marketing technique and for a business, you're going to want to make sure that you're always putting your best foot forward. So I would try and stay away from single sign-on.